I think we're up.
We're going.
All right, we are up and going. Hey guys, it is I, Josh, and Corey. Corey, I don't know which side I'm facing it. That way.
I don't
That
know
way.
which side I'm on.
How's it going? How was your week? How is everyone's week? People of the chat, let us know how things are going. I saw someone earlier said that I should drink a V8. I've got a Red Bull here. We are not sponsored by Red Bull, but I'm gonna drink one anyway. So how you doing, Corey?
I've been sleeping in my new helmet.
You've been sleeping in the helmet?
No, I'm lying.
That'd be a little uncomfortable, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, I can't even breathe in this thing. It's fun, but I can't breathe. It's a nightmare. I don't know how those stuntmen do it. They be fighting in those things. They're like geniuses, miracle workers to be able to fight in those helmets.
Well, does that helmet have like foam padding inside of it, or is it just?
No, it's just plastic shit.
Oh, okay. So I would assume the ones that the other people have probably have like some sort of padding on the inside to
Yeah, but it's still
minimize it.
basically the same setup inside, though.
Yeah.
I mean, as in peripheral vision.
Right. Right. Oh. I see. You're talking about being able to see, not just
Yeah.
having it on.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's a bit more comfortable because it's a lot of a snug fit, you know.
Yeah. So, guys, let me know if you see us skipping or buffering or anything. I am noticing I'm getting some weird errors that are popping up here on my end. Um, I don't know. I don't know what's causing that. I'm going to close my. All right, we are back. Let's see if this works. I made a couple of changes on the technical side, and I guess we'll see. I don't see us up on the screen yet, but it doesn't look like it's glitching out, so that is a good sign. I'm sure everyone in the chat will let us know.
Yeah, it's playing.
Where did we leave off? What were we talking about? We were talking about what you were doing.
Uh,
Let's just talk about these episodes. I'm kind of not annoyed. I just kind of want to get into
get
this.
through it.
So, sorry to everyone here if I get kind of, but that stupid shit just annoys me all the time. So these two episodes, what did you think?
uh, these were some pretty cool episodes. I have some. When we get to it, I have some facts about them. But they weren't. They weren't too. What was that episode last week? That was lame as fuck.
Well, last week we were talking
Stolen
about the
Beauty.
Galactic Beast episodes.
Yeah, but the Stolen Beauty. It wasn't a Stolen Beauty.
Oh yeah, that was like a few weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Because
So
we were
it
trying
was.
to talk about the Galactic Beast episodes for like a month. Joe came in and kind of went like, "No, we're gonna go in a different direction today." So what did you think of these episodes?
I thought you was going. I was very confused. But yeah, this was Trakeena becoming super powered
Yeah,
and over an
sorry, I'm
hour.
gonna interrupt you. I fucking wrote Scorpina when I was writing up the title this morning because I made
I
these at
said Scorpina. Did I say Scorpina?
and I feel like such an idiot too because I spelled out Scorpina like Trakeena with the two e's at the end. And then I went back and I was like, why the fuck did I write this? I rewrote it as Scorpina, not as Trakeena. Like I knew what I was supposed to be writing, but that's not what
Yeah,
came out when I was typing it.
yeah, yeah. Trakeena. I'm sorry. I didn't even realize I said that.
No, Trakeena
Apparently,
is right. I was wrong with Scorpina.
Scorpina's becoming a Power Ranger now. You went a little staticky on my end. Hold on.
You look fine over here. I think we're actually good now.
Okay, that's better. But yeah, the only thing about this episode that kind of bothered me, like I said, she just kind of she went Super Warrior like just over the afternoon, had afternoons training. It wasn't a month. It wasn't like a year. No time
Yeah,
went by.
that's like so. I was watching this last night. I don't know if you know or not, but Shay moved into the same building that I'm in. So he's here. So I was last night when I got back from Murrieta, from my hotel out there. I was finishing up some work that I had to do for the day job, and then I turned on the 2 episodes to watch. And I'm watching that, and like Shay keeps walking in, and he's showing me like, "Hey, look, I've got this thing that I got off of Kickstarter, and this thing," and he keeps walking in, and so I had to keep rewinding it. So I ended up watching that montage scene like 7 times because he kept interrupting me, and it's whatever, it's fine. But it was just funny because I'm watching this, I'm like, wait, is this how long is this whole thing taking?
Not
Because it seemed like it was like maybe 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, because the same dudes they're in the same bar, so they were
Yeah,
still there. So I don't know.
and then at the end, so I'm gonna skip ahead really briefly, but at the end, after she's like all like, oh, I'm strong now, and she goes back into the bar. Like I was really hoping for a Superman 2 type thing where she was gonna like really kick their ass and then turn around, look at someone, and be like, I was working out.
Yeah,
Because that's what because like that was totally the Superman 2, that had to be a Superman 2 reference, because that's he gives up his powers.
mm,
Granted, she didn't really have any, but so Superman gives up his powers. He and Lois go to that diner to eat, uh, and that dude takes his chair trying to hit on Lois, and he's like, "Hey, you want to step outside?" And dude beats the shit out of him. And then later on, at the end of the movie, after he's got his powers back, he goes back and like throws the guy through a pinball machine, because that's totally who Superman is.
is that the one when his colors get muted and he fights himself?
No, that was 3. That was the one with
Okay.
Richard Pryor, which
Yeah.
I unapologetically like. Like so everyone hates on Superman 3 and Superman 4. Superman 4 was garbage, but Superman 3 was just fun. Uh, it like I don't know. Like I know we're on a Power Rangers show, but I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat. Out of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, the original one, Superman the Motion Picture, Superman 2 with General Zod, or Superman 3 where they have dude that I was just talking about,
Richard Pryor.
comedian Richard Pryor, and that weird computer thing that takes them over at the end. Which one do you guys like, Corey?
It's been a little bit since I watched those. I watched the first 2 recently. Outside of
They're on
that,
HBO. They're all on HBO Max now.
yeah, I haven't seen past 2 in a good while.
All right, you should watch 3. That three was it was stupid, but it was so much fun. So anyway, back to Trakeena learning how to be a level
Badass.
7 black belt in like 3 hours. So is that something that you didn't like, or is that something that you just kind of rolled your eyes at?
I mean, it never bothered me, but it just calls into question like this skill as a warrior is just always in her, and she just needed to do a few push-ups just to activate it, like some Dragon Ball Z crap, or it's just lazy writing. Like we don't
I'm
know what's going on with
I mean, this
these
is Power
writers.
Rangers, so I'm gonna go with lazy writing. Um, yeah, because so what was going on with the Rangers in this episode too? Like, good. like what was going
Yeah, they
on
were
with
like
them, and because that was something that Deviant was setting up, or Deviat. That's something that Deviat was
yeah,
setting
it's
up.
like it seemed like the whole like the show was inverse. So is the show is about more so about the villains than the Rangers. So the Rangers are in the background in this episode.
Right.
Yeah, and so that's Deviat is stage is trying to frame the Ranger. Well, he didn't frame him; they did kill him. But trying to set up like an assassination so he can get inside that nasty ass cocoon. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know if we're no we're okay we're not. Nah, I thought we were lagging again, but it looks like we're okay. That might have just been my system here because I was loading up another page. Yeah, it was. I don't know. One of the things that I did kind of find interesting about this episode is we didn't have there was no Megazord, like there was no giant monster fight here.
No, what I'm getting the episodes, the
Yeah,
two episodes blurring together.
in
I
the
was like,
second
wait a
episode
minute,
there
you sure?
was in the
Yeah,
second
and
episode
that's
there was, but
yeah, there
in this one
wasn't. It was
there
just
wasn't.
Trakeena, and then Scorpius dies, and then she goes home and be all like, "Daddy," and
Which
that was
that's always a weird thing to me too, because like I get it. Even if you have a falling out with your family, you still don't want to see like bad stuff happen to them. But
yeah.
just the way, like I felt like it was, again, going back to what I always talked about with in space, the pacing just seemed really
Mm.
off in this episode. Um, and that's something that I get is just kind of a thing overall with Power Rangers, as we always talk about. But just in this specific episode, it just stood out a lot more than it has the rest of this season. Um, just because I think it was just that montage. It just made it feel like it should have taken place over a longer period of time, and instead it just kind of felt way too condensed.
Yeah, if it went like day night a few times, then it would have felt different. But it was just daytime the whole. So it's like, what day is it? Is this the
Yeah,
same day? What is going on?
that's right. Because like even with the bar, like I buy the same people being in that bar repeatedly
Yeah.
because it was a local dive on whatever like backwoods planet they were on.
Hmm.
Because I'm assuming
Uh,
that was another planet and not just another dome on Terra Venture.
yeah, that supposedly like the one thing about that bar, either the Onyx Tavern is a franchise or the planet Onyx changed since Power Rangers in space.
So so according to fandom,
uh,
that is the planet Onyx, because what it says here, this is listed as an error, but it says Onyx no longer has rings around it, as seen in flashes of Darkonda, unless Trakeena was seen on another desert planet prior to her arrival on Onyx. So it's possible that that it was just two different desert planets, but that
but
just
she was
again
still at the Onyx Tavern and in both of them. So
right. So that just seems again either lazy writing or just a weird continuity error.
that's the same thing with KO 35 and Power Rangers in space. They use Aquatar. So it's just like,
Yeah, so I think it's funny. I think I've actually been to that bar.
I want to know where that is.
So we were talking about this on the Star Trek show a few weeks ago. I don't know if you're familiar with in like up north of LA in like the Palm Desert area, an area called
Mm-hmm.
Acton.
Mm-hmm.
There is there's like a it's not really a cowboy town, but it's like an old west like set. In I keep forgetting the name of the area. I want to say it's like Paso Robles. It's up by the Santa Clarita. It just passed like the Santa Clarita Raceway. So it's up like this big mountain. You go up there and it's just like this like old west town, and there's just like all these old west. It looks like where they could have shot like Back to the Future 2. It was like it's like that kind of space, and they used it for shooting a few episodes of Star Trek Enterprise, and it looks like this was the same area here because they were still shooting in LA at this point, right?
Yeah, this is all in
or
Why the fuck are
L.A.
these people trolling me right now? Why don't y'all niggas leave?
I
Fucking
don't know if I know
Thomas
who Max
Franco.
Green is.
Thomas
You're a
Franco need
new
to get a
you're a
job.
new name to me.
Max Green. Who's Max Green? Max Green need to get a real name. Anyway, yeah, I'm planning on visiting a lot of ranger locations and just to take a gander at them.
Well, I'm assuming you've been to Kenneth Hahn Park.
The what? The park? Like the Angel
The
Grove
park,
Park?
Kenneth Hahn Park in like off of La Cienega.
No, I never been to any of them outside of
Really?
downtown Los Angeles.
JD's birthday, I want to say it was like 2 years ago. He had at that part, the Mighty Morphin Park, where where they would always hang out,
Mm-hmm.
it's Kenneth Hahn, which is over by it's kind of close to Baldwin Hills, like that area off of Slauson in the LA area.
Mm-hmm. So, wait, around the 14th or so, I'm going to, where they shoot a lot of the cave scenery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hit that place up in a few weeks.
Nice. Take some pictures. Edit us like a nice little little package for that. So let's get back to this episode here. I'm gonna go through the notes that are here on the fandom site, see what we agree with, what we don't agree with, because like these are always kind of weird to me too. Because like I'll read through some of the notes and I'm like, why are they pointing these things out? Like some of this stuff is like either really
it's like
obvious or it's like super like I realize I'm really nitpicky, but some of these things seem like really like top level.
It was like Trakeena's hair was coming out of her helmet, and
like random nitpicky thing. Something that I noticed in this episode that I don't think I noticed previously was the on her neck. What's supposed to be like the part of her costume looks like it's painted onto her neck instead of like it looks like it's.
yeah, that's always painted. Yeah, because it goes way up here under her chin.
I don't know if I've just never noticed that before or if it's just something that stuck out to me this time because like maybe one of like the ovals were like weird or something. But yeah, this is the first time that I really actually noticed that. So let's see, Error. We already talked about Onyx. Some of the monsters seen on Onyx were destroyed by Zordon's energy wave, unless these are more and/or different versions of the same monster.
Yeah, there's some Beetleborg monsters in there too.
I'm gonna say it's just lack of costuming that they just reused.
Yeah, they stay reusing the same shit all the time.
Let's see. This is a question. This isn't really an error. Why didn't Scorpius bring a monster with him to attack the Rangers? Although he wanted to destroy them himself, would it really have hurt to have some extra muscle? That's not an error. That's someone just asking a question.
No, he had Divya with him. Yeah, he had Divya. That's his general.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna come and he's like, "Oh, y'all got my baby girl. I'm gonna come whoop y'all ass." And you don't need a monster for that.
I mean, he didn't know that Trakeena was gonna come because like she had disappeared on him.
No, the whole reason why he came is because he thought the Rangers were holding Trakeena hostage.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. This episode marks the introduction of Villamax. I actually kind of liked Villamax and Kegler.
Yeah, thing about Villamax, he was the first general in Gigaman. He was the general of all the bug villains, like the bug theme villains. And he was like a cowboy, so like his personality here is like complete
different.
opposite.
Yeah, man, that would
he was just like pop.
Thinking about him as a cowboy now, that would have been great. That actually would have been really fun.
Yeah, and he's also carrying like a repaint of Darkonda's sword and
Okay, yeah, that did look kind of familiar.
Yeah.
Let's see. Russell Lawrence, Mike, does not appear in this episode. I did notice that, but he did show up in the next one, so it's not like he's completely gone. Let's see. Among the monsters seen at or around the Onyx Tavern are Rhino Blaster, Fearog, Waspicable. I really like that name. A Brilliant Bugs monster form, Termitus or Termitus. I don't know.
Termitus.
Fishface, Destructoid, Batarax, Sacadillo, Decibat, the Black, Hornless, a furry version of Robo Goat from Fire in Your Tank, the monster with the head of unused Cocker Ranger, Kaku Ranger, Kakura
Kaku Ranger.
Ranger, Shellless Turban Shell from Fire in Your Tank, Ushioni, unused in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 3. The Mega
Someone was
Ranger
free
monsters, Cicada Nazir and Mole Nazir, which were unused in Power Rangers in Space. And the Beetleborg monsters, Stego Dreg, who is the bartender, Cataclaws, Ultra Vulture, and a maggot from Masked Rider.
I didn't even notice all of that. I know. I remember the Bat Monster. There's a Bat Monster you see walking past in the window. I was like, he's gonna show up in like 4 episodes.
Let's see here. What else does it say? We've also got Trakeena loses her original staff in this episode, only for it to be replaced by a more powerful one after the death of Scorpius, that appears to be made from his tail.
Yeah, like one of his arms.
Yeah. So he's not a scorpion, right?
No, he's like an octopus spider.
So why is his name Scorpius?
I don't know. The scorpion stinger looks like a pincher bug. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that. Also, his mouth looks rather.
It looks like a vagina with teeth.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was something else. Like when one of those times that Shay came in, I was like, "What does his mouth look like to you?"
It's like, stay away from that.
Let's see what's in the last note here is Zordon's energy wave did not reach Onyx, apparently, as several monsters from the past are seen aforementioned planet during this episode. So I guess we don't know whether this is kind of the energy wave thing is sort of contradicting the error.
The thing is with Lost Galaxy was that the whole season was supposed to take place in the Lost Galaxy, which is like Zordon's wave just wiped out everything.
Right.
And so it didn't hit, you have to go through a portal to get into Lost Galaxy, though there's still baddies in there, and that would have explained everything. And then even going forward into like Lightspeed Rescue and Time Force, and like all those monsters were locked away, so it makes sense. You get what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So that happened. Someone just didn't want to play the game right.
So Max Green says that his name is actually Maximus Green, but he just goes by Max. So that is his actual name.
I don't care about Max Green. He's talking shit. He
You're being
he's annoying.
I don't know what it's called, but you're being against someone's name.
He's being a dickhead. I will call you out. I'm not one of those nice guys. Just ignore the chat. I'm gonna fucking talk about your mama. Get out of here.
He says that you would be the new Ernie at the juice bar.
I'd be still bacon.
I'd be one of the villain henchmen. Yeah, I probably would be one of the villain. I'd probably be like Finster. I'd be like, "Oh, I've got a new monster for you today."
I would rather be Vincent, actually. Just being in the dark corner, just making weird shit.
But see, here's the thing, though. I would be a useful version of Finster. Like my monsters would actually work. Like I'd only have to make one.
Make that one. Hey, Finster in the comic books he's pretty competent.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a little bit scary.
What about Finster 5?
I don't like his name.
Well, because he's I don't understand how he came to be, but I understand that he's a combination of Alpha 5 and Finster.
I get he's a combination of Alpha. It's like Finster was dying and he used Alpha to put himself on like permanent life support. So why would you change your name?
I have a feeling Max Green is someone that we know. I just don't know who it is.
Maybe.
I'll figure it out eventually. Coming for you.
If it's Jezzer playing games, I'm gonna drive down the Oxnard and choke him out.
What would you rate this first episode?
This one is like a 4.5. A 4. Just 4.
Giving it a 4.
A 4.
Thomas Franco gives it a 4. He gives episode 22, the next one, a 3.5. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. That like I enjoyed it, but that montage thing, man, that was just it's just weird.
It was. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but that's just Lost Galaxy. Lost Galaxy full.
Jared Hodges gives it a 4. Keep giving your ratings in the chat there. We're going to jump ahead to the next episode, An Evil Game. Corey, why don't you give me the rundown on what we've got here? This is obviously the second part of the storyline that we started in this last episode.
Evil Game, Trakeena gets back home, and she's like, I want revenge on the Power Rangers, and she starts her plan or her scheme to try to get back at the Red Ranger for taking out her pops. Then Deviant hires some assassins, some leftover Trecheron's goons, some samurai looking fools. The dude with the barrel on his head, that's Texita. You don't find out his name until he comes back from the dead.
Okay.
And then and yeah, some cool stuff happens with my boy Leo. You can see his muscles and everything.
Yeah, that was totally a Captain Kirk moment. That was I you know, obviously I'm gonna keep referencing Star Trek because that's kind of my thing, but that was totally, you know, like him there with his shirt all ripped up. He's a little bit more ripped than William Shatner was back in the day.
Oh yeah,
but you know, like just that moment where like he's like, all right, I'm gonna fight now, and he just like rips off his shirt. I'm like,
he's like, hey Leo, you've been doing push-ups, buddy.
Isn't dude like a lawyer or something now?
Yeah, he used the money he made from doing Lost Galaxy. He paid his way through law school.
I mean, that's kind of dope.
So like I see there's a picture of him in his office, and he has a helmet and something else in the background.
I mean, Chunk from the Goonies is a lawyer now too, so that's not too unusual.
Yeah, you gotta make that money,
right? So, do you know what kind of a lawyer he is? Like, is he an entertainment lawyer, or is he just like some random like, have you been in an accident? Well, you could call me Danny Slavin.
A freaking auto accident lawyer. I don't know what kind of lawyer he is. Honestly, I really don't.
Home insurance. Like does he help you sue the insurance company when your home has been destroyed by a monster and they're refusing to pay out?
Oh, that would make sense. That would make sense for him to do it. But I used to. This is WonderCon a few years ago. I was working Quantum Ranger. What's his name?
I don't know.
Jesus. I was working his booth, and Danny was next to us, and Valerie Vernon, and they gave me like a free autograph picture, and they wrote some cute shit on there. I cried a little bit. I was like, oh shit.
So let's see. Episode 22, an evil game. This I can't decide if I like this better than the last one or not.
I really like this one. This one has the vibe. This vibe is pretty close to a famous episode that's coming up pretty soon. Like the whole feel and pacing of this episode. So this is pretty much like the best Lost Galaxy gets.
Daniel Southworth. Is that who you're talking about? Thank you, Jared Hodges. He gave us that information there. Also, it looks like we might be skipping a little bit here. I'm getting some notifications that we're dropping some frames. So if it gets really bad, please let me know. But it looks like for the most part, it's pretty steady. So let's see here.
I'm gonna run and go get my plug because I'm on like 26%.
All right, so do that really quick. While you're doing that, I'm just gonna read through the errors in the notes. While Trakeena is fighting the Red Ranger, a double is noticeably present in some shots instead of Amy Miller. I actually didn't notice that. I don't know if it's because I was watching it at 3 o'clock in the morning or just because it wasn't really something that stood out to me. But I did
Like her
not see
helmet's like
that.
super bigger, so you can always tell when it's a double.
I don't know. I probably just wasn't paying attention. Uh,
Yeah.
Despite being in danger at multiple points in this episode, Trakeena never summons a monster, nor do the other villains send one.
I
Um,
don't think that's an error.
that I mean, that seems. Yeah, that doesn't sound like an error. That just seems like that was tied into what the plot of this episode was.
Yeah, she wants for
Um,
man, it's your daddy died. She's like, I'm gonna fuck these dudes up.
yeah. So see, that's what I'm talking about. The errors on this page, like some of these things are
Yeah.
just like that's a point in the story. That's not really an error. That might be something that you were like, why did this happen, or why didn't this happen? But I don't know that I would call that an error. Also, a sub note on that error is that despite going to capture the Rangers, the villains didn't enlist the help of a monster to ensure victory. Again, that's not an error. That's just how the episode was written.
Yeah, because Deviant was playing her. So Deviant was trying to kill Trakeena, so he hired the monster to kill her. So it's
Right.
not like, oh, there needs to be a monster for this episode. It's not fulfilling Homeboy's wish. Whoever is writing this fandom page, that was what
Yeah.
that was about.
I don't know who writes these things.
Someone
Does
who
it
doesn't need to be writing them. That's what.
does it like it doesn't say because like fandom is kind of like Wikipedia where
Yeah.
like people can uh, uh, contribute
It's
to
like they
it.
got everybody out there thinking that the Squad A Rangers are using GSA armor, and they're not.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it doesn't actually give us names like Wikipedia does. Let's see. Let's run through the notes. We've only got actually we've still got about 10 minutes before we really need to wrap, so I can get set up for the Star Trek show. But let's see notes. This episode marks the first time since the Rangers acquired the Lights of Orion that they don't appear. Didn't they? No, they used them on Scorpius in the last episode. They didn't use them in this one.
No, they didn't.
This episode marks the first time the Condor Galactazord missile launch attack has been used as a finishing move since the Rangers received the Lights of Orion. Okay, so that did confuse me because I was like, wait, have we seen this before? So that answers that question. No, we have not.
What the?
Uh, and Damon, Kendricks, and Maya are never seen in this episode unmorphed.
Right?
So
Oh, didn't they all
I
demorph when they got caught?
I don't think so.
Mm,
I don't remember now. But
mm,
I'm gonna go ahead and say that two different people wrote the errors in the notes, because if the same person who was writing the errors wrote these notes, all of these notes would be listed as errors instead of notes.
look, I'm at that part right now, and
And
let me see. Let me see.
what do you got?
Oh no, they all stay morphed. Yeah,
Haha!
right.
Fandom was right.
Oh hey, look, they're right for once. Oh yeah, nobody showed up in this episode, man, except for just Leo and Kai.
Yeah.
Oh
There were
yeah.
very few.
Also, this was around the time Valerie Vernon.
Well, we also saw Mike. We saw Mike in the beginning too.
Was Mike in the beginning?
Yeah, he wasn't in the last one, but he was in like the I guess the war room or command center or whatever you would call it on Terra
Oh yeah,
Nitra.
and he's like, "Hey guys, whatever."
Yeah.
But this was around the time Valerie Vernon was getting sick. So
Oh, okay.
if you haven't noticed, her voiceovers have a different actress. I'm
I'll have
blanking
to
on what's that supposed to be called right now. Her ADR.
VO
Her
or ADR.
ADR is done by someone else.
I'll have to pay attention to that. People of the chat, Ranger Nation, whatever you would like to call yourselves, Max Green, Ray Earn, I see a couple of you guys have given your ratings already. Everyone else here there in the chat, I see that there are 13 people watching right now. So if the rest of you guys want to chime in, let us know what you thought of these episodes, what you would rate it out of 5 or out of 7 or 3004. I don't care, just whatever you want to rate it. Let us know. Corey,
Yes,
better or worse than episode 21?
this was better than episode 21 because it had a freaking Megazord battle.
That lasted all of like 5 seconds. Like
Yeah, not because it had a Megazord battle, but I
the
just like
Megazord,
this
like that
episode.
whole battle in this one felt like it was just like rushed. Like they're like, oh man, we didn't have a Megazord battle in the last one. We need to get it in this one, but we almost ran out of time. Let's squash it down as quick as we can.
Yeah, I hate when they do it. I'm like, just don't do it.
Yeah.
But I guess they have like a quota, like some corporate ass quota. Like, oh, we got to have that toy on here for 26 minutes or whatever. I don't know.
So what do you give this one?
This one, 4.5. Not
Four and a
necessarily a
half.
5. Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
like seeing
go.
Rangers train and stuff like that. That's always exciting.
I'm gonna go with 4.25.
Mm.
It was definitely better than the last one. I enjoyed it more than the previous one. Some of the moments here were just a little more hokey for me than normal. I mean I did enjoy the Captain Kirk moment of Leo just kind of like ripping his shirt off, which looks very similar to the shirt that you're wearing right now, except yours is not all ripped up. Um, I did have fun, kind of seeing Deviant be like, "Oh, they went that way." So that was kind of funny.
I don't see it. No one called them out for that later on in the series anyway, because that's like an obvious some bullshit right there.
Well, I mean, but not only that, but there was also the moment when he killed the monster just as Trakeena was about to get information out of him, and I was like, that's not a little suspicious. Like she's just like, why did you do that? I was about to get this information out of
But
him.
I thought he was gonna kill you, Queen
Like
Trakeena.
I was like, you guys are dumb.
This dude plotting.
So let's see. Going through the ratings here in the chat, we've got a 4 from Jared Hodges, 4 out of 4 from Metal Ryan Gaming, which is also equivalent to a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10 or a 32 out of 32. Ray Earn gives them a 3. Ryan changed his mind and gave them a 3 out of 3, which is still exactly the same rating. It's a 1 out of 1. Thomas Franco gives it a 3.5, I'm assuming, out of 5. Jared Hodges, again, gives it a 4. I'm going to stick with my 4.25. It was fun. Most of the errors that they had listed here, I didn't really see as a problem. My major issue with this episode was that they rushed the Megazord battle. It just seemed to go by really fast, and it felt like it was being rushed. Like it wasn't just like, oh, okay, this is a thing. It felt like they were rushing through it because they were like, oh, we need to fit this in. And it just made it feel like the montage in the last episode. It just felt really rushed. But the rest of this episode was good enough that it kind of outweighed that for me.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish like when they revealed new abilities, they spent a little bit more time on it.
Yeah. What do you mean?
So like this episode was the first time we saw the that Condor the missile launch attack.
No, it wasn't. He wasn't saying that was the first time. It was the first time since the last time it was used.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that was like the first one of the first weapons they got.
Gotcha.
The sword and the missile launcher.
But even still, that's generally kind of a thing for me with Power Rangers in general is like I wish like as they got new abilities, they spent a little bit more time either learning about them or we got more time to see what it was about. Because like with going back to In Space when Andros got the upgraded
The
battleizer armor.
battleizer.
you know, like we got a little bit more information about what the battleizer is. It didn't make any sense because I was like, okay, well now you're using it all the time, even though you said that it could kill you.
Yeah, it's
So
like, what is it? Where
and
they come? Did you know you could do that?
so and like I would like that would have even been better. Like even if he had just been like, oh well, I guess it's not gonna kill me. Like if he had just like uh uh not recognized but touched on that, just like even just with like
Uh,
one line of I guess I'm strong enough to take it, I would have been fine. But the
it's
fact that he
almost
kept
like
doing it,
they get weapons and they don't. It's kind of like how someone gets a new phone. Ooh, I got the new iPhone 12, but then they don't bother going through any of the features. They just use it to take selfies. He's like, you have any
exactly.
idea what your phone right now? No, we don't.
I've got the Galaxy S10 Plus,
Mm.
so I'm a generation behind. I was actually thinking I might go upgrade my phone. Speaking about upgrading phones, not that that really matters or anyone really cares, but I was thinking about getting the S20 Note Ultra, which the one with the stylus on it.
Mhm. I think isn't
Uh,
Google the Pixel on 5 now?
yeah, they just released the Pixel 5.
Yeah.
Um, but the new the Galaxy S21 is going to be announced in like February. So it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, do I get the new phone now or do I wait for the next one?
It just
I don't know.
depends on your preference.
Yeah. I don't know.
I can't help you with that.
Again, something that no one really cares about. But anyway, that's gonna do it for us for this week. I realize we just kind of are ending here, but we've got the Enterprise show coming up in about 10 minutes with me and Eric Berry because Joe is off for the week doing something. I'm really excited about this episode. You're not really a Star Trek guy, are you, Corey?
No, I was watching Discovery last night. I started season 2, so I'm going.
Man, I started. I'm gonna talk about this more on the Enterprise show, but I started rewatching Discovery to get ready for season 3. So I'm like 6 episodes in now.
Mm.
The show is really good. Like I'm really impressed with it. All the effects are really good. Um,
It's like a
I'm
movie.
yeah, I'm really excited for season 3. We are going to start a Discovery show review show up when that starts up at. I think it starts on Thursday this week because it's taking the place of Lower Decks. So we'll see when we start doing that stream. We've got a couple of we're gonna have like a rotating cast on that one. We're gonna bring in a bunch of different people from our Star Trek team, which now includes me, Eric Berry, Heirloom might be dropping by a couple of times. Joe, we're gonna try and get Crystal, who was doing our reviews for Lower Decks. So it should be fun. It should be fun. So yeah, so I will see you guys back here in about now 7 minutes. Corey, until next week, where can people find you on the social medias?
C Gibson Rex. That's YouTube, Instagram, Twitter.
YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. You don't have like a MySpace or a Friendster
I
or
deleted my MySpace well over a decade ago. And Friendster, I never used
Vero.
Friendster.
What about
Ver-
Vero?
Ver- Vero, I have a Vero. I don't use it. I think it's C Gibson Rex as well.
uh, you can find me on Twitter at Vogon Poetry Slam. You can also just search my name on there. I should pop up. Although I just made it Halloweeny, so now it's instead of Josh Goldman, it's Josh Gouldman.
Coolman.
Ghould. And if you guys come back to watch me and Eric Berry talk about Star Trek Enterprise, I will see you in about 6 minutes. Until next week, live long and prosper. Is that's the
Is
worst.
it this way or this way?
Okay, that's right. You got it.
Yeah,
Later,
there you
all.
go.